Yes, I am the plaintiff, John C. Stamps III, and I was, you know, I was here to make this video for the courts to understand my situation as a parent and what I had to go through as a parent. When I filed this motion, I filed a variety of other motions also, and I demand the relief for my son to be returned home in a habeas corpus due to fraud and lack of subject matter jurisdiction and concealment of a fraud, because when my case came into court, my son had his arm got broken. His arm was broken at 1 year old inside of the foster home that he's in. And it's been a lot of malicious conduct. And I just want to bring forth to how this system goes. Different judges, different caseworkers, everyone just keeps switching, and the next one get worse and worse than the next one. But it all started from when I was trying to get custody of my son. I went down to the courthouse to get full custody with my son's mother, and the judge wouldn't allow it. He told me, "I don't know you, and I'm not going to give you custody of a child because I don't know you." And he told my son's mother why she's going to Florida and leaving a newborn child with me. And it was crazy from that point on, And when he forced me to sign these papers to a caseworker that I didn't want to sign no papers or have this lady as my caseworker because she was young. She came to my home. I live in Lincoln Park, and she came to my home like with a jealous type of attitude. My home was my building was going through a renovation. We just got a new owner in my building, and by we having this new owner in our building, and we got new managers. We got new management. So I don't know if they were mad at me because I found out people in my building didn't even they got the same floors, but I had to change everything in my building. I had kids. I had a boy and a girl. I also had custody of my daughter ever since she was born in Ohio before I moved here from Columbus, Ohio. So at this time, it was me with custody of two kids, a boy and a girl, trying to put my son on a lease. I had temporary custody because the judge gave me temporary custody after my son's mother told the judge in court that she don't like going to court, she hate court, and she's suicidal when it comes to court, and she showed her cuts on her arm, and the judge was like holding contempt. This was Judge Kaplan, James Kaplan. He said, holding contempt. I begged the judge not to arrest her. She said, "Please, I'll do anything. Please do not arrest me. Take me to jail. I'll do anything. Please do not take me to jail." So what I did is begged the judge, "Please don't arrest her. Just can you send her to like a mental hospital?" I had to think for the judge at that time because being a judge, I'm thinking, I never thought a judge can have, you can give your all to a judge, and I didn't think that a judge would do me wrong the way I was done wrong. My rights been terminated as a parent. I put my trust in the judge and the courts, and I did everything that they asked me to do, get parenting certificate. They told me when my son got taken from my custody that they only wanted to see me with parenting certificates, and that was it. That was the plan, a 12-month plan for him to return home. This case lasted 5 years. when this case came into the courts, I had enough evidence to impeach all the torticers in this case. And the lawyer that they appointed me to, Bruce Bornstein, this lawyer, he told me it's not about you, John. It's not about you. And he was like, it's going to be lots of court dates. I told him that I have evidence to impeach the caseworker and show that she made her own story up when the case came into the courts. You know, the caseworker lied about everything. And she even lied about the gas station across the street from where I lived at. What it was, she had the son's mother to go to a mental hospital and sitting there while she came to court with her own story. And that's what happened. She came to court with her own story, had the son's mother in this mental hospital where she was in there and can't come in to say this thing, and she wrote down stuff, her own story, and said this is what the mother said and this is what happened. And I knew she made her own story up when she lied on the gas station and across the street. Like, that was my evidence to impeach her litigations and her statements that she made, the hearsay that got my rights terminated. You know, I had the right to impeach this hearsay, and I've been trying to contact this gas station owner for years. The owner, I guess, I told the lawyers, I even called her supervisor, the caseworker's supervisor, to tell her supervisor how her Miss Kristen Van Oss had lied and made her own story up, you know, to have my kids taken. And I was the kind of parent that no one had to tell me anything about parenting because I did everything right. I never had a problem with parenting. I took care of my daughter. Everyone was telling me at that time that I'm such a good parent, you know, with what I'm doing, and they're proud of me. So I've never had no mistakes besides this renovation that was going on through my building, a new owner, new management. And from that point, I'm wondering, like, who's calling the DCFS on me. And this problem that I was going through was like someone was, you know, they was on me like they was on me all day. Cali King, I was getting harassed a lot by these people, and they kept knocking at my door. I'm going through a renovation. I got 2 kids, and I'm taken care of. You know, 1 kid in school, and the other one was a newborn child that I have custody of, temporary custody. And I was providing for my kids, never had no problems, but the hearsay that came and brought this case into courts, that was the only problem I ever had with my kids. And that's the problem that brought me from being a parent to my children. So I just wanted you to understand what I had to go through as a parent over someone that can be jealous of me and just can make a story up. And I think that everyone need a disciplinary hearing. I think that all the lawyers, the judges, and the caseworkers, all of them need a disciplinary hearing because of what they did to me and how innocent I've been, and how they made their own stories up, and plus how they terminated my parental rights and took my son from my life, and terminated my rights and took him from where my mother and his sister won't even see him. You know, how they stopped us from seeing him, and how they stopped us from visiting, talking with him when he wanted to come home, when he told me at the visits that he wanted to be home with me. Because he knew he belonged home with me, and his love was so strong, and it knew that it belonged with his father. But with the courts, they did not allow that, and it was a lot of malicious conduct. It was racial discrimination, because my son's mother is a white female. I'm a black male, and he's half mixed. And my other child, she's all black, which my mother have, who they gave to my mother. So that's a sign of racial discrimination. Plus, I done been able to receive my full custody of my child when I took my son's mother down there to get custody. She was there. She was ready to sign over her rights so I can have custody of my son. And the judge would not allow that. So, he told me, he came at me rude. He had me to sign. He had a personal interest on a public contract. And it's like a contract for me to have custody. And he had his own interest on it. He had his own personal interest on that contract being accomplished. And this is why I'm making this video, so you can understand. At this time, I did not know no words in law. I did not understand law. I am not a lawyer. But I love my child so much, and I had to learn what was going on in the courts and how. I didn't know not one word. I just love my kids. And I'm a parent, and I've been able to understand what parents do and how our seven responsibilities as a parent is one is providing home, food, shelter, taking precautions, observing our own behavior, and being able to provide medical, provide tools for learning. We got responsibilities as a parent. And that's why I'm making this video, so you can understand who I am and how I've been a parent, but that's been ripped out of my life from hatred, anger, jealousy, malicious conduct, negligent, racial discrimination, illegality, manria. It's been a breach. Brady laws been broken. It's been a breach of contract. It's been so much. It's been a lot of emotional distress, and I just want relief. I want relief from this subject matter, and I would just want justice for my son who wanted to come home and be with me, with his father, where he belonged, and how the courts did what they did, and it's just terrible. And I just want justice for that matter, that subject matter, which everything came to this court, and the way the system was built, everyone just kept new caseworkers, different judges, everyone just different faces coming in, over my child's life, and people that don't even know me, my child. It's a conflict of interest. The way the agency that has my child is diagnosing me with bipolar and schizophrenia, all kind of things that I've never even heard of. They're diagnosing me with that. It's been, I'm filing, defamation of character claims on that, tort claims on all the things that happened to me, the miscarriage of justice, all the things that happen. And I'm filing claims, and I just want you guys to know that I'm fighting for my son's life, to be home where he belongs. And even the management company here, they didn't have no right. Those Chicago police officers, they didn't have no right to enter my apartment without a search warrant and put guns to my face and take my son, because the manager gave them the key to enter my apartment. So in my eyes, this is like corporate kidnapping, because the management came down there and gave them the key. They didn't have no papers saying they have a search warrant from, they did everything out of jurisdiction And look what it caused. It caused a child arm to get broken in a foster home 1 year ago and get ripped away from his parents, his mother, his father, his sister, his grandmother, and his family. This is what this caused. His arm to be broken at one in a foster home, plus for us not to even talk to him, see him. His real family who exists, who loves him, and who can take care of him. And I'm living in Lincoln Park, Chicago. So that's another thing, that people's looking at my rent. They want to see my rent. They want to see my portfolio. The judge he want to see how many. I showed him stocks that I own. I showed him that I had a few million shares there, a few 100,000 shares of this stocks. I showed him my portfolio, and I told him what I was into doing, investing money, and I always want to own the business. I always wanted to be a parent that stay at home, affiliate marketing, building ad campaigns, starting different affiliate products, promoting different products, and getting traffic and conversions, and optimizing my campaigns, top of the search engines and stuff, and top of the campaigns, and plus CPM marketing also, just doing music and getting, I was letting them know like what kind of parent I am, and I don't know if they're jealous because maybe, or I don't know what it was, but I just know that they looked at me as not a parent, and I got a parenting certificate, and I got a home. I was providing, they used Mento when they had when this case came into the courts on this type of fraud. I should have known to been filed before, but the district court had no jurisdiction. So at this time, it was for me to just file. I could have filed anything in a district court, a retrial, change the venue. At that time, I didn't understand law. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to write an answer to the complaint. I didn't know anything. And I just got smart because I love my child, and I knew that this system is totally wrong, and there's a lot of torturers and people that just hearsay, and they got their own doctors they sent me to, and they doctors even. I came there with books, reading to my kids, McDonald's food, did everything a parent's supposed to do, and the doctors that they sent me to be a part, they worked it for the state, which that was a conflict of interest because these psychologists or therapists that they sent me to, these people just, I don't know if they work with kids or they work with adults, or they're part of their racketeering organization, but they said in court under oath that they felt afraid. They felt very afraid of me around my children. They said, and I'm bringing books. I'm telling my kids my name, my address, phone number. I'm teaching my kids. I'm providing tools of learning. I'm doing everything that a parent's supposed to do, but by them being a part of their organization with the doctors that they send me to, this system it should be a disciplinary hearing on everyone's behalf, because it shouldn't even stand in this country that they can do this and take a child from their home and get away with it, and terminate a parental rights and stop a sister from seeing her brother. The corporate kidnapping, I think everyone should be detained and put in handcuffs immediately for what they did. And I think that what they did, they shouldn't have a disciplinary hearing, and from that point on, their license should be taken. Because if it happened to you or anyone else, the same thing that happened to me, you know, you got to think for yourself. What would you do? What would you do if the story I told you happened? I didn't know nothing about law. I put my trust in the judge. I'm thinking everything is going to go all right. I'm thinking everything was going to go all right. I didn't think no judge was going to be bad. I didn't think it was going to be a bad judge. I didn't think it was going to be a judge that commit tort or do extortion, do bribery. I didn't think none of that. But I know that this system, they make a lot of money from more court dates I see. And they make a lot of money for having children in this system. And this is why I gotta suffer as a parent, and my kids gotta suffer because of them and what they need, the money that they're going for, or the action that they're going for. I don't know, but I just know that it shouldn't happen, and someone should have to hear my story and hear me out, because this is how everything happened, you know? Just exactly what I said, and I can say it again and again and again, and I just want to be able to let you guys know. I made this video for my rights, and it's gonna be with my amended complaint. Thank you. John C. Stamps III. Thank you. Seek justice for my son, John C. Stamps IV.